Hello, and welcome back to the Misty Morrison podcast. I'm your host, Misty Morrison, and this is episode 79 of Was I in the Wrong? Here on the Misty Morrison podcast, we love to read or listen, we love to give advice, we love to help people look back on their situations with that 2020 vision to see how they could have handled the situations more gracefully. Before we get into our stories for the day, our usual housekeeping, whether you are new or returning. Please remember to engage with the content to help the channel grow. Every little bit of online engagement is free and can help build the dream. If you are listening on podcast, please leave a 5-star review if you liked it. Anywhere else, give it a like, a heart, a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. On YouTube, hit the bell icon to be notified every time I post a new video. Leave a comment with your thoughts on stories down below and share it with a friend. Okay, into our stories for the day. Story number 1 is coming to us from r/am I overreacting? AIO for refusing to be my mother-in-law's ride for lottery runs, and now she says she'll never ask me again. This one is tagged family/in-laws. I recently set a boundary with my mother-in-law, and her reaction has me wondering if I handled it wrong. Over time, she's frequently asked me for rides to nearby places that are easily walkable. It's usually last minute and often for things like going to play her numbers for the lottery, along with other short errands. At first, I would help when I could, but it started to become more regular. I also have my 10-month Ezra with me all the time, as I am a stay-at-home mom, so even quick trips take planning, getting everyone ready, etc. It was starting to feel like I was being relied on as a default ride rather than for occasional help. I also feel a bit conflicted because she's supposed to be saving to move out next year, and I don't always feel comfortable being part of routines that don't align with that goal. So I told her I'm happy to help when it's something she truly needs, but I can't be the go-to ride for short, walkable errands, and that my husband, her son, can walk with her when he's home. Her response was, "Thank you, I will never ask you again, no worries." Since then, she's been distant, and the response felt more emotional than I expected. Like, I'd shut down all help rather than just set limits on a recurring pattern. So, I'm trying to figure out AIO for setting the boundary, or should I have handled it differently? You are right. That response, while it seems to have come across rather calmly, it was emotional beyond the context. Because you're right, you didn't shut down all help. You didn't say, "I'm not giving you rides ever again for anything." You said, "I'm happy to help when it's something that you really need, but I can't be your go-to for short, walkable errands." Like, you were very clear, very limited in the restriction that you were setting. And her response, "Thank you, I'll never ask you again, no worries." It definitely is an emotional response because it reads like you just told her she's a burden. You didn't, but that's the way it comes across, like you hurt her feelings, like she felt comfortable asking you for help and now she thinks she's in your way or she's inconveniencing you. Either it's very emotional in that she feels like she's a burden now, or she's offended that you are setting limits on the help that you're willing to provide, which is fair. You are allowed to set limits with your time. So no, absolutely, mom-in-law overreacted here. Story number 2 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITA for cutting off my uncle after what he did to me. I have always been close with my uncle, or at least I thought I was. A few months ago, I was going through a really rough time financially. I lost my job and was struggling to pay rent. I swallowed my pride and asked my uncle for help. He's the wealthiest person in our family and has helped other relatives before without any issue. He said no, which honestly I accepted. What I could not accept was what came after. He started telling other family members about my situation without my permission. Within days, everyone knew I was struggling. My mom started getting calls about it. I never asked for that. I came to him in private and he turned it into family gossip. It gets worse. At a family dinner a few weeks later, he made a comment in front of everyone about how people need to learn to manage their money better and looked directly at me. My boyfriend grabbed my hand under the table because he could see how humiliated I was. I stopped talking to my uncle after that. He reached out saying I was overreacting and that he was just trying to help by letting family know I needed support. I told him what he did was betrayal and I was not interested in pretending otherwise. Now my mom and aunt are saying he had good intentions and I'm being too sensitive. Maybe I am, but I trusted him and he used my vulnerability to make me the subject of family gossip. AITA for refusing to forgive him. Edit, he never actually apologized. He only said I was overreacting. And with or without an apology, I don't blame you. I think you're right. Because especially if this is something that you've not seen him do before. Okay, so you know that he's helped others. Does he regularly talk about it? You don't make it seem that way. Like, it's known that he's willing to help people because he's wealthy, but you don't make it seem like he has judged others or gossiped about others. If this is like the first time that he's doing it, then yeah, it's really personal. And also, managing money has nothing to do with it when you have no money to manage because you lost your job. I don't know why he's being cruel to you, but he is being inappropriate. It was betrayal when you asked for help, like you were vulnerable, you told him what was going on. And not only did he not help, but then he went and told everyone else about it. No, you came to him in confidence. I feel like the context made that obvious. This seems like really strange behavior. So, no, you're right for not wanting to forgive him, especially when he hasn't apologized. Like, he doesn't understand why what he did was wrong. Like, he's made excuses for it. Oh, I just thought, like, I'd let everyone else know because you needed support. But really? I don't think so. I don't think so. This reads really weird because I want to know why he did this to you and not anyone else. Why did he not? Because it sounds like he thinks your situation is your fault. Like, I think he didn't help you because he thinks it's your fault. I get that from the people need to learn to manage their money better comment looking at you. Sometimes losing your job is not your fault. And a lot of people in today's society and the state of the economy, a lot of people are one paycheck away from losing it all. So, you're right. I hate this for you. Let's see. Story number 3 is coming to us from AITH. AITH for my husband going no contact with his sister. AITH for supporting my husband going no contact with his sister after years of drama. My husband and I have been together 12 years and have a blended family of 8 kids. Wow. When we started dating, his younger sister, Katie, lived with him and watched his younger kids. There were constant issues: hidden alcohol bottles, showing up drunk, and refusing responsibilities. During my high-risk pregnancy after multiple miscarriages, I found one of the kids crying while Katie was passed out drunk. I took care of him and said nothing, but later she screamed at me for interfering. I ended up having complications, and my husband was furious when he found out. For years afterwards, she badmouthed us, then would calm down, and we'd try again. A few years ago, while I was hospitalized with a life-threatening infection, she called my husband drunk and said he'd abandoned her by marrying me and having kids. She claimed she raised his children, that he should have bought her a house, and that she wanted him to come back to her. Sister? This is weird. This is very uncomfortable. I don't think she wants a physical relationship with him. She's definitely having an emotional relationship with him. But she's emotionally attached in a way that makes us uncomfortable. I'm glad you said us and not just you. She acts like his wife and children stole him from her. The final straw for me was last year. My daughter went to her first middle school dance dressed as her favorite anime character. I posted photos on Facebook and Katie publicly mocked her because my stepson hadn't been allowed to attend his own dance due to grades. I told her she'd crossed the line attacking a child and blocked her. A couple weeks ago, my mother-in-law was seriously injured in a car accident, the same day my husband's cousin died. We were all together helping my mother-in-law, and I tried to be civil with Katie. Then she called my husband drunk again. This sounds like a bad ex. She insulted me. I stayed quiet. Then she insulted our children. I snapped and yelled, "Go F yourself." She called me every name imaginable and said the kids were none of my business. My husband finally had enough. Thank God. He told her she needed to apologize, stop the drunk calls, stop insulting his family, and communicate like an adult, or he was done. Instead, she sent pages of texts saying she wanted him back, that I didn't deserve his love, and that she should be the person he loves the way he loves me. You can't be, you're his sister. My husband decided to go no contact. That took long enough. I encouraged him to apologize for how he initially blew up and leave the door open if she ever wants a healthy sibling relationship. Why? No. This has gone on for long enough. He's right, you're wrong. Let's see. He apologized for his delivery, but still refuses to continue the toxic cycle. Good for him. I'm conflicted because I know her behavior isn't my fault, but I did snap at her. If I'd stayed quiet, maybe this wouldn't have exploded while the family is already dealing with so much. So, AITA-H for snapping at my sister-in-law and supporting my husband's decision to go no contact. First, it doesn't sound like you're supporting his decision to go no contact when you not only told him to apologize, but also said leave the door open if she wants a normal sibling relationship. You didn't give any ages, but y'all have 8 kids. Every adult in this story is plenty old enough to know better. She doesn't want a normal sibling relationship. She wants to be married to your husband who is her brother. She's not a safe person to have in your life. He's right. This is toxic. She's never going to change. She hasn't yet. Why would she change now? Especially when she's on her own toxic cycle of stepping back and then getting drunk and trying to get her brother back as like an emotional romantic partner. Am I the asshole for snapping at her and supporting my husband's decision to go no contact? No. You're right. You put up with so much more than you ever should have for so long. And like, so much happened that day. The cousin died. The mom-in-law was in a car accident. She had already insulted you. You knew she was drunk. And then she insulted your children, as she has done many times in the past. You were not wrong to snap at her. You were not wrong. If she couldn't see this coming, she's blind. If she doesn't understand that whether or not she's drunk, like when she sobers up, she can go back and see those messages. She knows what she did. When she's sober, she can go back and look at what drunk her did and know that she's wrong. But she doesn't recognize it. She doesn't realize that the relationship she's trying to have with her brother is wrong. She doesn't realize that trying to get her brother to leave you to be with her is wrong. Sister-in-law needs therapy. She needs a lot of help, and she needs separation from her brother. I understand that she was a big part of the kids' lives. She helped him raise them, looking after them before you came along. And that's fair, that's to be appreciated, but that doesn't make you the surrogate mom or the surrogate wife. This is toxic. Your husband is right. I'm sorry it took you guys this long to get here, but I don't look for sister-in-law change, so I don't think you should leave the door open. Shut the door, lock it, throw away the key, and burn the bridge that led there, because sister-in-law is messed up in the head. Therapy. It's good for a lot of people. It's good for most people. Story number... I don't think I did my clicker. Story number 4 is coming to us from r/AITAH. AITAH for giving my boyfriend an ultimatum for showing me his home. Hi, I've been dating a guy for almost 3 months now. We literally live a 15 minutes walking distance away from each other, so we hang out almost daily. He comes over at my place to watch movies, eat dinner, and play games together. But he refuses to invite me over to his place. Every time I ask him to hang out at his place, he tells me it's too messy and he doesn't want me to see it. He lives in a small apartment and has loads of free time to clean. I also offered to help him clean his home several times, but he refuses. He rejected the idea of hiring a professional cleaner too. I don't want us to only hang out at my home every time, and I've asked him to clean his home so many times now. I even said I don't care about it being a mess. I just want my boyfriend to invite me over. He claims he's cleaning bit by bit, but that's what he's been saying for 3 months now. Last week, I was fed up with it and told him I'm giving him an ultimatum of 2 weeks to show me his home or we're done. He asked me for a month. Eventually, we settled on 3 weeks, but he said he probably won't make it. Keep in mind, this is a single person apartment, so real small, and he has all the time in the world. But it's bugging me. AITA-H for demanding to see his place. I have questions. You keep saying that he has all the time in the world. Does he work? Is he unemployed? Because if he works, he wouldn't have all the time in the world. If he doesn't work, then does he really have a place 15 minutes away, or is he like maybe couch surfing or crashing with friends? Because like those two things don't go together for me. Working and also having all the time in the world to just clean your place. If he's unemployed and he's refusing to show you his place, that makes me worried he doesn't really have a place and he doesn't want you to know. If he works, that's probably not it. If he works, he probably does have a place 15 minutes away. Is he a hoarder? There's this, I mean, you guys have been together for 3 months. So I don't think it's that serious yet. But like, what's he trying to hide? Like, if you've made it known repeatedly that it's that big of a deal to you, and he's willing to lose the relationship over this, over you not coming to his messy or dirty place. So that really makes me think that he has something to hide. If he does, let him go. But I do think you're wrong for giving an ultimatum. I just don't like ultimatums. I don't agree with them. They never work out the way that you intended. And it wasn't even a true ultimatum because you said 2 weeks. He said a month. You guys settled on 3. So you didn't even stick with the original ultimatum. I don't like that. You can set your own boundary and say, I'm not willing to be with someone who's not even willing to show me their place, because a person's place can, not always, but can say a lot about them. And if you are unknowingly dating someone who's a hoarder, that is a big behavioral pattern to work through with a lot of therapy. You may not be willing to sign on for something like that. With it only being 3 months, I don't think it's that big of a deal, but if it is to you and it's your deal breaker and making sure that you don't see his place is his deal breaker, then this sounds like you guys are not meant to be together. Maybe just call it good now. But I'm gonna say you're wrong for this one because I like boundaries, not ultimatums. Story number 5 is coming to us from r/AITH. AITAH for getting a tone with my mother-in-law after she got pushy about where I parked my car at my own home. My mother-in-law came over to my house, and we were all about to leave on a 7-day trip. I said out loud, I still need to move my mother's very heavy disability van, the van from the grass to the driveway before we leave in case it rains. She says it's not going to rain. I say, okay. Then she repeats it 2 more times. Each time I acknowledge her statement. The 3rd time of saying, okay, I said it with a tone to end the conversation because I was still going to move the van. She got angry that I got a tone with her. She said she would not be treated like a child and that I was selfish for doing whatever I wanted and not doing what she was suggesting, not moving the van because it was not going to rain. I moved the van. AITAH for getting a tone and moving the van. Was I selfish for caring about my mother's van being in the driveway, not the grass before we left? This is weird. Okay, she said that she would not be treated like a child. Don't act like one then, because she did. Mom-in-law acted like a child when she threw this little fit. Let's see. She got angry that you got a tone. Of course you got a tone. She was acting like a small child when she kept telling you the same thing. You acknowledged her every time, but she kept on. Finally, just like with parenting, finally, When you have to repeat the same thing so many times, it comes out with a tone. You're annoyed that the child is not listening to you. That's fair. Let's see. You are selfish for doing whatever you wanted and not doing what she suggested. It was a suggestion. You didn't have to do it. More importantly, it's your place. So you get to decide. If you're not comfortable with the van staying on the lawn for 7 days, if you're gone for 7 days, depending on where you live, how dry it is, all the grass underneath that van's going to die. Certainly the grass where the wheels are, it's going to die. It's better for the van, it's better for the yard, for it to not be parked on the grass. It doesn't matter what mom-in-law wanted. It matters that it is your place, so you get to decide. You're right. Mom-in-law was being a child. I hope somebody else also told her so. So strange. First comment says, actually, you're a little selfish for thinking you can decide what someone else does with their own property. And there would have been no tone if I didn't have to repeat myself 3 times. NTA. Exactly. It sounds just like a small child. Just like a small child. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was 5 stories for this week's episode of Was I in the Wrong? Thank you so much for being here for another episode of the Misty Morrison podcast. Remember, start each day with a grateful heart. Kindness changes everything. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.